Hello, I'm Braeden.
Just like slightly back.
We're Gridio for only about 3 weeks, but the main thing that we're trying to do is to manage the fact that we have so many different residential assets when it comes to flexibility. So imagine if you could turn on or off with a click of a mouse a gigawatt of electricity. That's basically what we're trying to do without any additional cost to the utility company and to actually turn it into a revenue source. So just as a flexibility today is usually with gas-fired power plants, the average power plant costs around $1 billion to build, and it generates enough for peak load for about 50,000 EVs. And right now in Europe, 50,000 EVs is basically the number of EVs sold in France last year. So it's a very cost-heavy ability to add more flexibility. So it's something that we think can be done a little differently. So the future of the EV market in the European Union, about 70 million EVs will be on the road by 2032. We do not have the ability to charge all these right now. As an example, that's about 350 gas-fired power plants at peak load. And that's actually what is in today's market in the EU. There's only about 350 of them. And the cost to build that would be about $350 billion. And at 70 million EVs, that's about 200 gigawatts of peak charging. On the solar front, in the EV customers' homes, about 20 million of them are going to have solar panels. So that's an additional 100 gigawatts of energy that it's going to be putting back into the market or just lost in general. So we're trying to harness both of these assets at the customer level. So how Gridio works is we want to charge at the cleanest, most cost-effective, and the most abundant source of the power. So instead of when you get home around 6 o'clock, most people are plugging in their EVs and charging, we want to shift that towards more of the overnight charging, or if we can, to the solar charging. Right here, this is bad. This we cannot support, and this is when we're turning on massive amounts of gas-fired power stations, which is not cost-effective for anyone, and we want to save the customer money, but also we want to gather data. So we do this with no additional hardware. We connect directly to the car OEMs through API integration. We also connect to all through a cloud-based formula. That way our algorithms run, it collects data, and we have the ability where we connect with the utility companies where they can have control of their customers' EVs when they need it. How it works with the customer is they download the application, they're able to connect their EV, so they choose their make or model of their electric vehicle. Very easy, takes about a minute to connect. Once they do that, they set the time in which they want their car to be charged. Whether or not they need the full charge of 100%, 80%, it's up to the customer to tell them what we need when it comes to their charging. So what it does is it automatically charges when it's the cheapest and most cost-effective for the customer. So they get home at 6, it waits till the tariff prices are quite low, and then starts the charging then, making it so that when they are wanting to leave for work, that they are ready and charged and ready to go. On the solar inverter side, they're able to connect their inverter, or they can set their kilowatts on their inverter at home if we do not have the native integration. That way that we can use their solar to also charge. And right now we are on the first of the market to offer intelligent solar charging. So how it works right now is usually companies are connecting with the inverters, or they're offering the ability to charge at like 6 kilowatts, or when it reaches the full ability to charge, then it switches over to solar. We offer even down to the trickle charge almost, where it's 0.6 kilowatts. So it maximizes the entire charging thing, starting charging here, all the way up to peak hours of solar. So this harnesses a lot of the energy that's just being wasted right now, as most of the time, the amount of solar being created right now is actually far beyond what's needed, so it's just wasted. So we can harness that. And eventually, as we move towards V to G, this is something that will be very, very profitable. So we started Gridio with the front-end application, so B2C. We natively grew, and now we're over 35,000 users. And our revenue base is based on monthly revenue of charging the user €3.75 a month, with the average savings of around 15 to 20 euro per month, and that's not even including the free charging for the solar. We moved over to utilities now. That's where my focus comes into play, the B2B. So there are utility companies out there looking for different types of flexibility. So we can offer this where they have their portfolio of all their EVs, and it's just wasted assets that they're able to harness. So what we do is we first start with a pilot program of a white label application based on their branding. It's the easiest to the market because integrating with utilities API is very resource heavy and takes a lot of time. So we can actually launch the white label application in as little as 4 weeks. We did this with Total Energies with their Smart Charge Plus app. We went through the pilot program with their employees and key personnel, and then now we're rolling to full scale. So we launched it in 4 weeks, and it really adds the value to their own customers, but also customer acquisition, which is one thing that utility companies are looking for, as EV customers are very profitable. So once they roll out for the pilot with the application, we move on to maximizing adoption for customers. They download the app, instant savings, everybody wins on that front. And then we move over to the final, which is profitable flexibility. So some of the utility companies are charging the end user a monthly recurring subscription like we are, obviously for a lower fee. And also they're providing it for free to them just as a value added because they're trying to get as much adoption as possible because they understand that then they have the flexibility, but then they can also have the data, which is when they're charging, how long they're charging habits. So you're able to better predict the future when it comes to EV charging in their networks. On the user perspective, the average is around €200 a year savings, which is a cost reduction of about 34% or more. If they do have solar, it reduces that significantly more. But again, we do have 35,000 plus EV drivers that are using Gridio. So we've actually done almost no marketing. It's been word of mouth as well as just natively, organically growing. So now we're really focused on pushing in. I'm actually the first commercial hire that they had. So we're going to be pushing really into B2B as well as marketing B2C in the Scandinavian countries as well as Germany and the UK. So the benefits for the utilities is we're very flexible and quick. We can launch their pilot program in as little as 4 weeks. We focus specifically on EV charging. That's what a lot of our competitors are doing, a lot of things with the whole home charging in general. We are laser focused on EVs. That includes the smart charging, solar, intelligent charging, and also the home batteries. So that's the whole ecosystem that we're creating to basically pinpoint accuracy regarding on only providing solutions for that. It boosts customer acquisition and retention. You can unlock new revenue with the flexibility, whether it's the recurring revenue or the flexibility you get where you're able to not have to turn on the gas-fired power plants. And we have a proven success with utilities so far. From an investor standpoint, we're scaling rapidly across Europe. Monthly recurring revenue is one of our models, as well as we do partner with the utility companies with more additional revenue. We have huge market tailwind because obviously EV, solar, and batteries is a huge topic and it's exploding. And we have an experienced team with a proven product, and we did get our last seed investment of $2.4 million in January. So we are ready for the flexible terawatt. We just need more investment as well as more clients. We are expanding quickly, so we're welcome to talk more at the booth. If you come by, it's S42 in the main area. Thank you very much for your time.